It's like what man caves were before man caves, you know, which I think might be the most controversial. I actually don't think that's the stereotype. I think the stereotype is, hi guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I am Yvette and I moved to the UK 2 years ago and I'm documenting my experiences. And so today I thought it'd be fun to do a bit of a stereotype video because I think they're always funny. Obviously this is meant lighthearted and in jest. Stereotypes are just, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, and that's always fun to poke fun at and see if you fit the archetype or you don't. I, for one, do not, maybe I do, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I fit the archetype of an Australian. I don't drink beer, horrifically awful at sports and don't follow them, and I do swear a bit, so there's that. So yeah, you tell me, am I quintessentially Australian? Maybe I'll do one of those videos if you're interested. But that's not today's video. Today's video is British stereotypes that are probably true, and you can tell me in the comments if you happen to fit the archetype as well, or if you're more of an individual and you don't fit the archetype like me. So let's jump into it. So number one on the list is foreign languages. Brits are known for not being able to speak multiple languages, for not being bilingual. I think they have the lowest multilingual, bilingual rates in most of Europe as a continent, not Europe, the EU. I know Brexit, we left, blah. So, Australians fall into this too, so we're totally guilty as well, where I guess it's the stereotype of like the British tourist who goes to Spain and is like, uno cerveza, uno cerveza, and that's all they can say. I went on traveling with someone once that, for a joke, like he was playing into the joke. We were in Egypt and everywhere we went, he would say uno cerveza, even though they don't speak Spanish there, which was 10 out of 10 funnies to play into that stereotype. But yes, known for not speaking languages, and then if you're traveling abroad, just either shouting English slower at them or knowing a handful of phrases that are not that helpful, which is definitely what I do. I'm just like, whenever I go traveling, I just learn hello, thank you, and I'm sorry, because I'm gonna be in someone's way or not know how to read something or be lost. The next stereotype is probably one of my favorite things about British people, is rampant sarcasm. You can never tell when a Brit's being serious because they're always saying the opposite, and I love it. Keeps you on your toes. Generally, Brits are known for like quick wit, wisecracking jokes, being quite quick, quite witty, and sarcasm definitely falls into that. I think it kind of falls, it stems from that like stiff upper lip energy that Brits seem to have in terms of, so saying things with a straight face is because they're so good at having that stiff upper lip and keeping a straight face all the time. And just the juxtaposition of saying something absurd with a straight face is so funny. I love the sarcasm. I think it happens, and I probably say it as well, far more than I actually realise. So, but yeah, obviously, and this stems into like every British comedy as well. You know, all the best British comedies are just pure saturated sarcasm, like Peep Show and things like that. My next stereotype, I think you'll like, maybe, like, or not, but we'll see. So what I think is interesting, right? So this isn't the stereotype, but I think there can be a stereotype where Brits drink a lot. That's tends to be the running joke. Same with Australians, I get it. However, I actually don't think that's the stereotype. I think the stereotype is how much Brits love the pub. And what that generally means is that, so people would think that you're drinking a lot because you're always at the pub, but obviously the pub is so much more than just alcohol, you know. It's cultural, you meet your mates there, you can have a meal there, you can play games, you can watch football, you can watch Eurovision, you can watch whatever. It's more of like almost like a clubhouse kind of thing, but you have your favorite seat. It's like a home away from home. It's like what man caves were before man caves, you know. And now obviously everyone's welcome. I'm not being, you know, sexist, clearly. But I feel like there's more to it than just drinking. But then pubs are obviously, you know, public house for drinking. So when you get told, oh, I'm at the pub every day, people assume you're drinking crazy amounts every day, which is not true. So there you go. The stereotype is that you don't actually drink as much as people think. Just love the pub, which I think no one's gonna argue with that one, right? Like, pub pride. Next one on the list is polite conversation. So we all know Brits are the most, you know, I saw a funny video just before I filmed this. It was like so funny. There was like on a country road, 2 cars had like an accident, and like one of them flipped, and he must have been wearing a GoPro or something, because he filmed himself getting out. He was okay, everyone was fine. And the guy came over and he's like, it's gonna be okay, we're okay. And then he's like, yep, that's fine, I'm not angry, no anger, let's just sort this out. And it was like the most polite car crash I've ever seen. It was like the most British thing, and I love it. Like, why do we need anger? Let's just be nice to each other. And then we can, if we don't want to be nice, we can be sarcastically nice, you know? Be like, he's a great guy. It's like when you absolutely hate someone. And that's why Brits are so polite. Unless you're their best friend, in which case they will roast you. But yeah, generally polite conversation. Everyone wants to have a chat. Like, obviously not maybe for London, but generally they'll have a chat about the weather, or, you know, politics, or just something, keep it light and fluffy, you know. It's always very polite, and like everyone wants to do what's right and no one wants to cause a fuss, which I think is quite sweet. Okay, so my last one on this list, which I think might be the most controversial, maybe Australian then, is the class system in the UK. It's a very class focused society, shall we say. Now I've obviously lived in Australia, which we don't have any class because we have no class. We have no manners. No, because there's no like elite in terms of like aristocracy. We don't have dukes, we don't have titles. So there was never any elite. And then there's like working in middle, I guess, but like there's no real distinction. Like, you could be at the pub and the guy next to you could be a millionaire and you wouldn't know. They dress the same, they act the same. There's not the status associated with it. America's the same, and I think it's because they're younger countries, whereas the UK, class is a big thing here. And I was actually reading an article the other day about how there's accent discrimination, and how I think if you've got Essex or West End accent from London, you have a hard time getting jobs and things like that. In 2013 or 2012 they did the study. In 2013 they published the results around a whole new class structure in the UK, and they come up with, because of how the world has evolved, there's no longer just like working, middle and upper. Now it's got 7, so I thought I'll read those to you because I think this is fascinating. So there's precariat, which is like low class. So the way they calculated these was off like 3 basic metrics of like money, like wealth, social, how many people do you know and what do they do? Do you know mostly like cleaners, or do you know mostly lawyers, that kind of thing? And cultural, so what do? Do you like to go to the theatre, or do you like to watch the football? So that was kind of the 3 metrics. And so now we have at the very top, we still have the elite. So there'll be like people with a title, the Queen, you know, people who don't have to work to stay afloat. I wish I was in that one, but we all know I'm most definitely not. Then we have the established middle class. So I guess that's more, I haven't got like the exact numbers on this. Like, I tried to look it up, but for some reason the calculator's like not working, so I can't tell you the specifics. If I get it working, maybe I'll do a video on this. But then they've got the established middle class, which is like high on everything. You got money, you got culture, you've got friends. Then there's the technical middle class, where it's, I guess, just below that. New affluent workers, so that's, I guess, people who own houses and do things, but like not, like just the middle, I guess. Traditional working class, emergent service sector. So that's like cash poor, culture rich. You got lots of friends and lots of activities, but no money. I feel like that one's me. And then the precariat, which is working like the lowest class, and that's where you mostly rent and you don't have a high income and you don't have many socialized activities or friends. So yeah, there you go. So that's the new 7 classes. The fact that the UK funded that study should tell you that class is an important part of UK culture. But yeah, so there you go. That is it. Tell me what class you think you are. I have given you a horrible breakdown of it, so if you want another video going into the details of it, you can either give it a Google or I can do a video on it and we can do the calculator together. Let me know in the comments below, do you fit the stereotypes, or are you a outlier like me? Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Remember to hit subscribe so I can see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.